I got a question. Do y'all believe like ordained marriages was better for women back in the days? Like do y'all believe that was the standard that should have kept going to
Yep.
today?
Yep.
Do you
Yeah,
think I think do you believe like that would have changed the dynamic of the world? Like had that still been the standard,
Yes.
like but for your mom, well, your family to find your mate, like would do you think there would still be purity in the world if that was still going on?
Yeah, but also
I
putting
think
that in today's society is weird because a lot of people don't even have parents. A lot of these
That's what
parents
I
don't
was
even have
about to say.
parents. A lot of these people shouldn't even be having kids. First off,
Hmm.
so
it
let's.
comes it
It's
comes
just
to sex. It comes to sex, I think, because you used to have get married to have sex with a woman, and with the advent
Yeah,
of all this medicine, it made women become more liberal with their vaginas. Like it used to be dangerous to have sex until we came out with medicine. Y'all all willy nilly busted open for anybody now.
mm-hmm.
And not
Y'all,
only that,
y'all
I think
saw.
there's no more shame in the world because, like, back in the day, like, even for men, like, your father's name, like, you didn't do anything to shame that name. Back in the day, as a female, you didn't do
Get your
anything
face
to
in
shame
the
your
chest.
home. So now, everything going on today, you can be promiscuous, you can do this, you can be a dope dealer. There's no shame to put you in that box to
You can
be
have
on the
sex
straight
before
and
marriage as a
narrow.
Shame.
woman. You
You
can
said
have
what?
sex before you can have sex before marriage as a woman. Why y'all
Crazy.
shaking your head at that part? That don't count.
No, because you trying to reference back to your point that if you have more than one
I
body,
wasn't
go.
even thinking about it. I just so happened to think about that.
Nah, that's what you was
Listen, listen, listen. Y'all all wrong about this whole thing, right?
doing.
Even going back to Terrell Owens. The sayings, rock out or go with who celebrates you, not who tolerates you, is only half correct. That's for normal people. What guys don't realize a lot of times is that they ultimately, and this is one of the reasons I was speaking to Will and K Fair and Quentin also. What guys don't realize is that when you make those decisions, a lot of times, so when a guy deals with a woman, so K Fair, when a guy will tolerate something, he's operating under duress. When a guy, speaking of what Will would say, or what Will has said, when a guy goes and say, well, why would you want to do it by yourself? That's going where you celebrate it and not necessarily where you tolerate it. That's half correct. That's based off of a space that you want to be in or a space that makes you feel good. A lot of times when it comes to being successfully married, what guys don't realize is that the way that you should evaluate a spouse is not based off of where it is that she at or what her sentiment is or what her demeanor is. It's based off of whether or not she should be with you based off of where you're going. Because who she is today is going to be completely different than who she is 10 years from now, who she is 15 years from now, who she is 30 years from now, and who she is 40 years from now. So Quentin is all the way wrong, right? Because Quentin has no idea of what it takes in order to be successfully married. The key is this: when a guy is evaluating a woman, he has to reverse engineer it and he got to work backwards. Because most guys don't even realize where they're going to be 10 to 15 years from now. They only going based off of how they feel at that particular time. Oh my God, I want to do life together. Or, oh my God, I love you. Or she's this or she's that, whatever. That's why most men settle. Who she is and whether or not she's supposed to be for you when you at your apex is going to be a completely different conversation. And most guys don't get that. And so they go where they celebrate it, but they don't realize that the level of celebration that they're going to have when they turn 50 or when they start to be at the top of their earning potential, when they in their late 50s and early 60s, when they have all of the options in the world and then they're looking at the person that's not actually best for them, is going to create a situation where they're under duress. They're going to outgrow their circumstance. So people are picking people based off of where they at and not necessarily where they're going. And most guys don't even realize that they're kings. Most guys don't even figure out that they need to get their life together until they start to get into their late 20s, early 30s. And so it's hard for people to see or have that foresight, which is one of the reasons why you need mentors. You need a father in your life. You need people that can give you insight and understanding. You need people that can start to give you the game on how it is that you're supposed to move and not move. You then start to evaluate where it is that you're going and you make smarter decisions, not based off of even where you tolerate it, not even based off of where you currently celebrate it, but where you're going is going to be completely different. You're not even going to have the same circle 10 years from now as you have right now. So your standards is going to be different. And it's people that can then see that and they can add the game to you. They can give you that level of mentorship. So when I see people a lot of times have these conversations based off of A, what they will settle for, B, who's good, C, whether or not the sentiment of a woman is what it is, and then D, whether or not a woman is actually a good person, and don't evaluate everything, including who it is that she's already opened her legs to. It shows me that they're not worthy of the crown that they're already going to have, and they're going to suffer as a result of it later on down the line. Most guys don't understand their greatness until later on in life. That's when you start to see people start to question where it is that they have, where they are. And midlife crisis is not just based off of, oh man, I'm trying to figure out who it is that I am. It's also trying to figure out why they made the decisions to surround themselves with people that they surrounded themselves with, including the person that they lay next to every day. If you really understood what being successfully married is, what being equally yoked is, what choosing a wife or choosing a person that's supposed to be what next to you is, then you would make different decisions, and you would look at what your life is going to be long term, and then you would start reverse engineering of where you're going to be. And then the people that's surrounding you, including the person that you're going to lay next to every day, you would evaluate them completely differently. You would evaluate them completely differently. And your life would be that much more exceptional, and you would not be sitting here having a conversation about settling with the help, settling with a chick that made herself available to everybody. Then she became a good person. Now she's a reborn again Christian. Now she thinks that she's more valuable than she really is. Now she makes you feel good. Now you don't want to do life by yourself. Now she already got kids and all of this other type of stuff. You would start to evaluate your greatness and align yourself accordingly. Most guys don't do it because most guys don't understand it until it's too late. But now you finally have a person like myself that's willing to give you the game, and y'all still don't want to listen because you still don't want to listen because you're so focused on what it is that you feel instead of where it is that you're going. It's going to be a completely different conversation, and you're going to regret that you didn't listen to me if you're not paying attention right now. I'm telling you, you're going to regret it if you do not listen to me right now. A lot of these guys
I
don't get it.
agree. I agree to a certain extent, but that also contradicts your other point when you saying that a woman shouldn't be with a guy based off of potential. Because
No.
all this is
What a
potential.
woman should do, listen, this is a competition. It's her. We all got traps. You a hunter with a gun and she got a bear trap. Her goal is to get you early enough before you start to realize your value, which is one of the reasons she need to get with you in college. Your goal is to try to evaluate where it is that you're going and see whether or not these women is trying to trap you. The advice that I have for a woman trying to get married is going to be completely different from the advice that I have for a guy. It doesn't contradict. It's just two different people that I'm speaking to.
All right.
Hey, y'all got any more questions?
No, yeah. Are you saying that? I just want to clarify. So are you saying that men should wait later? So you're saying you disagree with Eboni K. Williams, and you said that we people should wait later in life versus college. Is that what you're saying? I just want to make sure.
Am I speaking to the man's perspective or the woman's perspective?
I thought the topic was Eboni K. Williams, but we can go to
It is, but we always go down rabbit holes.
Okay, so you're speaking to the men. They should wait till later in life. Like,
that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that a man should reverse engineer exactly where he's going and start to understand what his purpose is in life, and then evaluate the people that surround him, not based off of the superficial things that we look at women for. It's not just their age. It's not just whether or not she opened up her leg. It's so many other things that you need to take into consideration. And it's whether or not she's worthy to be in your presence 10, 20, 30 years from now when you start to really become the apex of who you are.